بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا مباركا طيبا فيه الحمد لله ولا أعبد إلا إياه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير وأشهد أن محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد الله ورسوله أرسله الله تعالى بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله ولو كره الكافرون والمشركون والظالمون وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brothers and sisters of Yusuf Mosque, the community in support of Yusuf Mosque, we are now at the end of Ramadan, coming into the last few days of the 10 nights of our blessed month, and we expect that the Eid will be very soon. In fact, by the time that you view this, it will be the Eid. And so let me be the first to wish you a very happy Eid, you and your family, all of our supporters and members. And I remind you very succinctly of what has just happened in your life. Allah has been very merciful to you. He sent you a month of mercy, a month of forgiveness, and a month of emancipation, so that you can come out of the month free of sin, clean and whole, once again ready to be a dutiful, steadfast worshipper of Allah. And so I remind you that the first 10 days were about mercy, and by now you should be a strong, merciful Muslim, and your family should be a strong, merciful family. And we ask Allah that the mercy that you have received because of the blessing of the fast will remain with you and your families throughout the remainder of the year until Allah graces you with another Ramadan. And we also remind you of the fact that Allah sent you 10 days of forgiveness, and that you should have by now received the habit and the etiquette and the ethic of forgiveness in your life, and that you carry with you a sense, an air about yourself of forgiveness that causes you to create more relationships in your life than you have eliminated over the course of the year. And so be merciful, be forgiving. Lastly, we remind you of the fact that 10 days were given to you to emancipate yourself from hellfire. And here's a point where people really get stuck sometimes. When we talk about the emancipation from hellfire, it is in this sense, it's a very useful way to look at it, is this: that you are emancipated from a higher love of this world, this dunya, than the love that you are to have. You should maintain for the hereafter and for Allah. And so let the focus as you leave Ramadan, let the ethic and the orientation that you leave Ramadan with be one in which you are less hooked on the world and more hooked on your acts of worship and obedience to Allah, where the goal of the Muslim then becomes a emphasized focus on the hereafter, erasing sins, doing good deeds, and being a person of goodwill. These are all the lessons of Ramadan that we have learned, and we are grateful to Allah who has given us the opportunity of life, the space of life in which we were able to receive this gift of Ramadan. And now that the Eid is here and we are in a celebratory mode, let me just say that the word Eid also means to return. And so as we celebrate today with our families, and we eat and we drink and we visit one another and extol one another's virtues of goodness that we have come into contact with because of the blessing of Ramadan, let me also remind you that the word Eid means return. And so that we should also be expecting that another Ramadan will return in a year's time. And by then, we will be in a spiritual state that is lessened over the course of the year. But the mercy of Allah is that He keeps giving us opportunities to become better, to renew ourselves. And so this day of Eid, we celebrate with our fellow community members and our family members, And we see in it the many lessons that Allah is teaching us. And the greatest lesson is that we are brothers and sisters, family members, brothers, sisters, family members, husbands, wives, relatives, and we all are connected by the spirit of Islam, or the spirit of Islam and by blood. But the greater connection is the spirit of the Ruh, the spirit of Islam. And let us take that spirit and continue to support Yusuf Mosque, our mosque, and inshallah, I ask and I pray Allah that you all have a wonderful, fantastic Eid, and that you are safe, you are well cared for, you are nurtured, and that your deen becomes your greatest prize. Thank you all. Eidukum Mubarak. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.